Hello and welcome from Dave M0OGY. Well, in today's review I'm taking a look at the brand new President JFK 3. Now then, so as we all know, the President brand of radios names their transceivers after famous US presidents, and this one has no exception. It is named after John Fitzgerald Kennedy, who lived between 1917 and 1963, was quite famously assassinated, sadly, and he was the 35th US president. He was succeeded by Lyndon B. Johnson. If you look at my previous reviews, around 6 months ago, I did review the President Johnson 3, which is a very similar radio size-wise and design. These are both the top of the range transceivers for GPE, only having AM and FM, but you can tell the quality, certainly on this one, it's very heavy compared to any radio I've tested for an awful long time. So what is this radio? It's AM FM compatible. It's a multi-norm transceiver which covers EU, UD, PL and India, so the European channels, the UK channels, German and Polish and Indian channels. The size, it's for a DIN mount, so you can mount it. It does come with a DIN bracket, which I'll show you in a moment, and the size is 180 millimeters wide by 188 millimeters deep, so it's quite a bit deeper than the previous Johnson 3. So yeah, it's 188 millimeters deep by 51 millimeters high. Now for comparison, the Johnson 3 is 178 millimeters wide, only 120 millimeters deep, so this is, you know, quite a bit deeper size wise, and 50, so basically it's obviously the same size thereabouts for the DIN mount, but it is deeper than the other radio. So it is a dual voltage radio, so it will power from 13.2 volts up to 26.4 volts, so 12 and 24 volts cars and trucks. It comes with a multitude of accessories which I'll show you in a moment. It comes with a 6-pin electric condenser microphone, and one of the new party tricks with this transceiver, it does have a flashing forward facing front speaker. Now I quite like this function. I will try and demonstrate it in a moment. Some people won't, but you can go into the menus and turn it off, so it's not intrusive. If you're driving at night, maybe you wouldn't want it flashing away. So on the front panel there is a USB type A socket, the new version of the USB, the smaller one, which is a 5 volt output at 2.1 amperes. And the main thing with this radio, certainly for myself and a lot of the older operators, it does have a rather large display, very easy to read at a whopping 2.5 inches by 2 inches, so it's one of the biggest displays and channel readouts I've seen. And you can change the colours as any modern President radio, 7 colours, which we'll go through in a moment. So we'll have a look across firstly what comes with a radio. So it comes in the all familiar President box, which has good shelf appeal. It does have a stencil on the back of the box showing you the radio and the features, so it's easy to look at quickly to get it going. The accessories are on your left. It comes with a DIN cage. Comes with a DIN cage there. It also has a black painted bracket. We have 3 bags of fixtures and fixings. There's tools to take the DIN cage out. There's a standard bag of fixtures and fixings with the thumb screws, and there's also some plates to mount on the side of the radio if you do choose to mount it in a vehicle. Comes with a standard President mic, 6-pin with the up and down channel keys, so there is no extra button in the middle for auto squelch or anything like some other brand of radio, so it's just a stock mic that comes pretty much with all their transceivers. We've got a multi-language manual, user manual, and the President sticker, so that's what comes in the box. So, taking a look across the front panel next. Well, firstly, it's of a good construction. It has a plastic fascia. The panels, it's a two panel design, split case, steel pressed. As I said earlier, it's very heavy. It weighs 1.5 kilograms, which is currently heavier than any other President radio, including the Washington, which I'm very surprised about. So there's something rather heavy inside, which I would think is possibly a heat sink of some form. So we will look at that later on. So, moving from your left to your right, as you can see, there's a front firing speaker, and on the right of it there's a lot of lines there that they light up green and red on receive and transmit through the audio only. So I'll show you that, I'll demonstrate that with a handheld shortly. You've got your up and down channel keys, so there's no rotary encoder. These are all at least 2 functions each. You've got AM and FM, PA as well on the same button, scan facility and dual watch. You've got your noise filters, A&L, noise blanker, and then below high cut filter, so that's all your filtering. You've got your F key which goes into the menus, and below emergency channel, that switches between your preset channels which are programmable and Vox. So moving across, you've got your large screen, which is really nice to see. It's really easy to read even from a distance. You've got your volume squelch and the auto squelch, which was originally patented by President, I think probably about 1987 or 8, a long time ago. Everyone uses the auto squelch these days, but it was them who designed it. Below you've got a yellow, or even green should I say, cover, which you remove to get to your point to plug your phone or whatever you want to run from there. And then you've got your 6-pin, moving across a little, sorry, you've got your 6-pin microphone socket, and it lights up green, and then when you press PTT, which currently I'm not into a dummy load so I won't be doing, it does light red. So both that and the lights work there. You can see the various points to plug your keys in like you used to your old car stereos to remove the unit when it's in a DIN mount. Also there's 4, 2 on each side. Also I saw that it's got the President JFK 2 script there on the top of the fascia. It also shows it underneath, so if you've got it mounted in a truck and you look up, quite clever, it's got it printed on both sides. So that's a look at the front panel. Construction wise, very well made, which you would expect at this price point. So I'll just turn it around and we'll have a look at the rear of the case and just see what's on there. Right, so looking at the rear panel, it has quite a large black painted heatsink. Your serial number and plate is on the side of there, I'll show you that in a moment. You've got your antenna coupler. You've got the smaller jack for your Vox microphone direct into it. You've got your PA speaker if you choose to use that, and your extension loudspeaker. And then below you've got the standard President stroke Uniden style 3-pin power socket. Again, as I said earlier in the video, it can be run from either 12 volt supply or 24 volt supply. So that's the rear panel. I'll just hold it up in a moment, and we'll try and get it on camera, sort of the rough size of it. That's better. We'll just do it on its side one moment. Try not to drop it. So yeah, that's the sort of physical size of the radio. As you can see, its casing, as most President radios are these days, is pressed steel with the President name embossed into the top panel. I'll just have a turn him around and have a look at the base of it. There's probably certainly not much to see. Yeah, just your standard, a few slots to let the heat out, and also the all familiar sticker that states not to wire it up back to front. So that's a look around it. Size wise, yeah, it does feel substantially heavier than most radios. Most of them you nearly drop, but that light. But no, this is really nice and heavy. And is it now the mic's unplugged? You can see it has the 6-pin microphone socket on your right hand side there. So next part of the video, I'll be taking the bottom case off and have a look at the circuit board and what's weighing so much. I think it's possibly some form of a heatsink, but we'll see shortly. Welcome back. So taking a look inside the radio, you've got the rear heatsink with the serial number and the spec, etc. This one's serial number 422, so it's just one of the early production radios. But looking at the heatsink now, you can see where all the weight is. It has a really large aluminium heatsink that's painted black, which goes all the way round to there. It forms part of the chassis, as you can see there. Then it joins onto the AM regulator. I think that's what it is. I'm sure you'll point out if I'm wrong. And then the rest of the chassis, which bolts onto it, is really nice. It's steel, I guess, painted, so it's folded. It really is, I would say, the best built chassis I've seen in any radio for a long time. And this includes, you know, more expensive single sideband sets as well. So that's where your extra weight lies, in the chassis. So taking a look inside the radio next, modern PCB, surface mount technology as everything is. There's one or two larger components on board. You know, that looks rather out of place. What's that, 2220 is it? And 2200 microfarads. Not sure, it's all covered in goo. So yeah, large component there. It's all boxed in well. There's a lot of shield in here, clipped in, and then it's screwed in at the back. I won't be removing that. Absolutely no need for me to show that. You've got your coils, your outputs on the back panel. You've got a PCB behind the fascia, which is linked by a small ribbon cable. Your built-in speaker looks a good chunky item, so I'm hoping it sounds well. I will show this operating, and also it plugged in my trusty Motorola extension speaker. There is, as it comes as a multi-norm transceiver. There will be a mod, I can see it there. There's a jumper. And there's a white wire. Now my guess, in recent years, President, you know, for many years you've just snipped the wire Well, I'm taking a look at that and I can see another solder point, so I'm guessing someone who's very competent. I would suggest you get a shop to do this. Would desolder that and probably jump it across to that other point. Now, I'm not too sure, I won't be modding it for my own use, but my guess it will work 24 to 30 megs. It may may indeed have extra power. Why have such a large heatsink if not? But yeah, that's what I think. So there's your mod. There's just a jumper, but yeah, I certainly won't cut the wire. I think that's the way forward. I know some other radios from other brands, you don't even touch the wire and you just move a jumper, but I don't think it's that easy for obviously legal reasons. So yeah, so that's that. I won't go on too long about that, as it doesn't really interest me. As you can see on the top, that's where it's, well, the bottom, should I say, it says the President JFK 3 logo as on the top. So if you're sat in a truck looking up at it, that's quite clever. I've not seen that on a radio in the past. To get in the radio, you've got 4 screws on the side and there's a full 3 across the back, and it just slides out. But I strongly suggest you don't, as you will void your warranty, as I'm sure no one wants to do. As President do offer a 2 plus 3 years, it's 5 years warranty. I think some of it's to do with buying an antenna as well, but it's got the best warranty there is, so I would keep it stock and use it what it's intended to do. Well, that's up to you. So I'll put the cover back on and I'll show you some of the features, and then in my part 2 video I will be doing some on-air tests on AM and FM. Hopefully we've had some really good skip within England, you know, throughout England and Wales and Scotland, so it would be nice to show that, but you never know. So I'll be back in a moment. So to get into the menu function, you press the F key in it for a long period and it shows F. Press it again, that gets into your menus. So you've got noise reduction. Now the noise reduction you can use on transmitter receive, Roger beep off, key beep I've already turned that off, scan type, scan skip so you can skip channels you don't want to listen to, dual watch set, mic type, electric condenser, and obviously you've got the old style dynamic mic, Vox levels for voice activated transmission, PA set, SWR built in and levels. That's your light, your speaker light, which is on. You can turn it off as I mentioned earlier. Volume, ACC, mic up and down, so you can turn your mic up and down keys off if you don't want them on. Reset colours, so if you want to go into that, you press the bottom one, I think it is, and it flashes. So you've got cyan, as they call it, yellow, purple, that's rather bright, it'll probably be bright on camera. Yeah, cyan, blue, green, orange, which I prefer. Yeah, so that's how you get in it. You press EMG until it flashes. So that's how you get into your menu system. So basically you press the F key. If you press the F key for a short time, it goes into I think the memories. It's got 5 memories, so you've got to make sure the F key, which is at the top, comes on, and then press it again for a long period. I think it is. There you go. So it's fairly easy. You don't need to, you know, you soon learn if you press a few buttons. So yeah, it's got full noise reduction, as most radios have this day and age. on both transmit and receive. Again, I'll probably use the Digimic on it as I like it as a microphone, but there's absolutely no need to use it as it's all built in the transceiver. But I do like that mic, I prefer it to the stock mics. So yeah, you've just got AM and FM. And when you've got it in the UK mode, which it isn't in at the moment, it's in the mode it came in, it comes in EU mode. Once you program it to UK, you know, it'll go through the EU and then go to UK FM. So pretty straightforward. Right, I'll be back with a bit more information and then offer my conclusions in a moment. Right, so I mentioned the flashing lights on the display that you can actually turn off. So when you transmit, they glow red, and when you receive, they go green. So I'll show that for a start. We've got the Squelch on and we're on channel 20. FM mid-band, I've got my hand held, so we'll see what it sounds like. Audio test, 1 2, audio, 1 2, audio, 1 2, 1 2. So yeah, that's the lights on the new President JFK 3. Over. Right, finally I'll just let you know a few of the features. It is feature rich, as you know most modern radios are, obviously. So it has a key lock to lock the keys. You've got 5 memory channels, which are basically on those, so you run through them, you program each to your memories. It's got emergency channels, programmable, so you can switch between channel 19 and a favoured channel or channel 9. Talk back, it's got Vox, so you can plug that external microphone in it when you're mobile. It's got a built-in auto SWR meter and SWR alert, so you can program that to, so it, you know, cuts off if it's too high VSWR. You've got filters, A&L, noise blanket and high cut. The noise reduction circuit is really good. It's got multiple levels on both transmit and receive. So there is no real need to use the President Digimic, but I just use it just straight through, so I like the mic, so that's personal choice, I guess. So once it's modified, it allows T5 and TO, so basically you can have frequencies ending in 5 and 0s. Right, as pointed out, looking at the back of the box, it comes with the 2 plus 3 years President warranty. This radio, whilst President, as you probably have realised over the last year, has been updating all the current radios to the plus spec, which adds the President channels, extra channels, which are encrypted, and also the noise reduction circuit to previous radios. This radio has, I can't find the President extra channels, so I don't think they're on board. Now President have updated every single radio over the last 10 or 12 months, so there's 1 or 2 I will be showing in the plus guys, but I won't be showing them all, there's just too many to get through. So finally the weights. Now then, as I said, it was 1.5 kilograms, where the Washington is 1.4 kilograms. The Johnson 3 is stated as only 750 grams. Still think that could be a typo. The Barry 2 Plus, which I showed a few months ago, about a year ago, is 900 grams. And the George 2 again I showed a year or so, a couple of years back, is 1.190 kilograms. So it is substantially heavier than all the current radios. So, hope you've enjoyed the review. In the next part I will be plugging it in my Vortex Quasar Q82 Mark II vertical antenna, and just hope there is some conditions, as we've had a lot of conditions sort of in the UK to Scotland to Wales, etc. So we'll be trying it on air next anyway. So thanks for watching the video, have a great weekend, and 7-3 from Dave, M0 OGY 26 Alpha Tango 025. Bye bye.